Rolling Stones guitar dispute. Mick Taylor versus the Met Museum. Rock history mystery. Imagine a legendary guitar, once strummed by rock icons, now at the heart of a heated dispute between a former Rolling Stones member and one of the world's most prestigious museums. But here's where it gets controversial. Is this priceless instrument a stolen relic from the band's wild past, or is its history as clear-cut as the museum claims? Let's dive in. In a story that blends rock and roll lore with legal drama, former Rolling Stones guitarist Mick Taylor is locked in a battle with the Metropolitan Museum of Art in New York over a 1959 Gibson Les Paul guitar. But its journey from the hands of rock royalty to the halls of the Met is anything but straightforward. The guitar was part of a massive donation by billionaire collector Dirk Ziff, who gifted over 500 guitars to the museum, in what the Met hailed as a landmark acquisition. When the donation was announced in May, Taylor claims he instantly recognized the Les Paul as the same one he last saw in 1971, during the chaotic recording sessions for the Stones' album Exile on Main Street in France. Those sessions, fueled by drugs and rock and roll excess, saw several instruments vanish, presumed stolen. Now Taylor believes this guitar has resurfaced, but the Met isn't convinced. And this is the part most people miss. The museum insists its provenance records show no evidence the guitar ever belonged to Taylor. This guitar has a long and well-documented history of ownership, said Met spokesperson Ann Ballas. But Taylor's team isn't backing down. His partner and business manager, Marlies Damming, has called for the Met to allow an independent expert to inspect the guitar, arguing that its true history could be verified with a closer look. An independent guitar expert should be able to ascertain the guitar's provenance one way or the other, she stated. The guitar's storied past is undisputed. It was owned by Keith Richards in the early 1960s and even played a role in sparking interest in the Gibson Les Paul model. Taylor claims Richards gifted it to him in 1967, 2 years before he joined the Stones, and he used it to record the iconic solo on Can't You Hear Me Knocking. But the Met's records tell a different story, tracing the guitar's ownership to record producer Adrian Miller after 1971, with subsequent sales and public appearances, including a failed Christie's auction in 2004 and a loan to the Met for its 2019 Play It Loud exhibition. Here's the burning question. If Taylor's claims are true, does the Met have a moral obligation to return the guitar? Or does the museum's documented history take precedence? And what does this say about the murky world of rock memorabilia, where provenance can be as hazy as a 1970s recording studio? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. This is one debate that's sure to strike a chord. Mick Taylor's stolen guitar resurfaces at the Met, the controversial Keithburst Les Paul. In a stunning turn of events, former Rolling Stones musician Mick Taylor asserts that his cherished guitar, believed to be stolen decades ago, has resurfaced within the Metropolitan Museum of Art's, the Met, latest acquisition. The Met, however, refutes these claims, setting the stage for a heated debate over the rightful ownership of this iconic instrument. The Met recently announced a monumental donation of over 500 guitars, each with its own historical significance, from some of the 20th century's most revered artists. Among these, a 1959 Les Paul, affectionately known as the Keithburst guitar, has garnered significant attention due to its association with Rolling Stones founding member Keith Richards. This legendary guitar, featuring a distinctive mahogany body with a sunburst finish, was prominently used by Richards during the Stones' 1964 appearance on the Ed Sullivan Show. It has also been linked to music legends Eric Clapton and Led Zeppelin's Jimmy Page, further enhancing its allure. However, Mick Taylor, who joined the Rolling Stones in 1969 following the tragic death of Brian Jones, has come forward, claiming the guitar as his own. According to Taylor's representative, he purchased the guitar from one of the Stones' tour managers in 1967 and utilized it extensively for several years. The controversy arises from Taylor's assertion that the guitar was stolen in 1971 during the chaotic recording sessions of the Stones' album, Exile on Main Street. The sessions were marred by drug use and internal conflicts among band members. In the midst of the turmoil, the guitar disappeared, unnoticed by the band. Bill Wyman, the Stones' bassist from 1962 to 1993, recounted the incident to The Observer in 2010, describing the lax security and oversight that allowed the theft to occur. The Met, however, disputes Taylor's account, arguing that he merely borrowed the guitar but never held official ownership. The museum contends that the guitar was not among the items stolen in 1971 and maintains that its recent history has been meticulously documented. In 2004, the guitar was auctioned by Christie's, and it was featured in a Met exhibition in 2019. The Met insists that the guitar's ownership history since 1971 has been well established, tracing back to Adrian Miller, whose exact acquisition method remains unclear. Subsequent owners include Cosmo Verico, a guitarist for the rock band Heavy Metal Kids, Peter Svensson, a Swedish producer, and Dirk Ziff, a billionaire collector who loaned the guitar for the 2019 exhibition and made the recent donation to the Met. Taylor's team has remained relatively silent since making their initial claim, requesting the opportunity to inspect the guitar and verify its provenance. Marlise Damming, Taylor's manager, expressed her desire for the Met to cooperate in resolving the matter. Regardless of the outcome, the Met's extensive collection of guitars, spanning from 1920 to 1970, will be showcased and utilized for guest performances and recordings. Additionally, contemporary guitar builders will have access to the instruments for study purposes. Pieces from the donation are set to feature prominently in a permanent gallery of American guitars, scheduled to open in 2027. Jason Kerr-Dobney, the Met's curator of musical instruments, hailed the donation as a once-in-a-century opportunity, emphasizing its unparalleled breadth and variety in the realm of American guitars. The collection promises to enrich the museum's offerings and captivate visitors with its historical significance and artistic value.